build of some sort that has already been built, then whenever we evaluate this, these evaluations become paths. And so that's what we're doing here, where we unset the path and then we say, okay, let's actually create a new path export. And we're going to take, instead of just inheriting it, we're going to create an array called build inputs, and we're going to then just iterate through that array in our script. So we're literally using the Nix language in some way to help write our script and have a better, well-defined interface, right? Because now in our shell environment, right, we're not just expecting a bunch of environment variables. We're actually saying, well, no, this is a standardized way that we pass these paths to our shell environment, and it has to be in the build inputs value. If it's not, it won't work, right? And so once we've got our path set up, then we do, again, something similar. We unzip it. So we say tar xf and source again, we're still trying to build hello, but we're trying to make our builder more generic, right? That's the goal here. Is it's not like we're trying to build it any differently in the sense of the output, right? We just want to build it differently. That's it. We just simply want to build it differently. And so in this case, after we unzip it, then what we do is we say for directory in our current location, we cd into that directory. Why we do that is that really what we do? Yeah, for directory in star do, if it's a directory, then cd into it, otherwise break. Okay, I see. So what's happening here is we cd into every directory. I actually don't really know what this is doing. Can anybody with like better bash knowledge than me help me understand what this is? Because it looks like we're just it just looks like we're seeding in directories. Like, am I getting that right? That like we're literally just seeding into directories on this? What are we doing here? Oh, let me just look at find a directory where the source has been unpacked and cd into it. Find a directory with a source. Oh, okay, I see. So this is interesting. Basically what this is doing is this just finding the first directory it can cd into, and then it breaks out of it, right? This solves the problem of the issue we had with the other builder of not knowing which directory to cd into. So if you think about it, right, I told you we needed a more generic builder, something that didn't have like static names like hello or 2.10, right? And so this is their way of solving that problem. I don't know if that would be exactly the way I did it. I mean, it's not a bad way of doing it. It just means that like realistically, you don't really know what directory you're going into. And so like what might be a better solution here is just to say build root maybe, right? Again, because remember, you can have custom environment variables and then just do something like that. And this will actually translate it to say the current path. And then you could potentially do something like that. Like that's, again, this is just their way of showing you how to do it. It does not mean that that's the way you should do it or you can do it. There's multiple ways you can do it. By the way, thank you guys for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Donovan, what's up, man? How's it going? Cool. Okay, so then after that, we're in our directory now. Well, now we're just going to configure, make install, right? So at that point, what have we done, right? We've really gotten to a scenario where we are, literally when we're developing, right? We created a new shell environment. We unset our path. We then only added the binaries to that path that we wanted to, right? Nothing else. We then unzip our source code, which is our input, right? Source is right here, right? There's source. Come on now. Highlight. I said highlight. Thank you. So there's our source code right there, and our source input, right? So we are expecting, and that's something to note, we are still expecting our input to be a tar, right? So think about that. That's very important to note is we're still expecting our input to be a tar. So if you were like, hey man, I want to build a node application and my node source is this, right? I'm not going to work with this, right? So again, it's just me really trying to show you guys that like it's up to you in how you build the software, how you use the builder and how you configure it, how you run it, right? but it doesn't mean that you can't achieve what you want to. And I think that's something that like has really empowered me over the past oh sorry, hold on one second.